Welcome to the SLL Season 3. Week before the finals, I'm Threadus. I'm here to talk to Psycho Mayaal, who is the coach for Carrot Judgment. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Is right. So I'll jump straight into it, dude. The first question is, how did you feel the group stage went for you and your team?
Oh, well, it wasn't as good as I think it could have been. We started off rather well. We won the first game,
Yeah.
and I thought we'd actually do really well from that point on. But then some unfortunate circumstances came up, and we had to find two subs for our second game, along with a new player, because our solo laner went over the SLL cap. So our second game didn't go as well. Same with the third, because we also had to find a sub there. So overall, as far as the game result goes, I don't think I'm too happy with it.
Yeah, fair enough. I was going to say,
Yeah,
I think the first game you guys played was against Mayaal anyway, and I think you guys took that 2-1 in the end.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and you were the guys with the first team to have someone go over the cap, weren't you?
Yeah, we were. It was in the uh, that the timing was also a bit unfortunate because it happened right before our second scheduled league game, so there wasn't even much time to find a substitute. So
Yeah, I can guess that could be rough. Anyway, I'll move on to the next question for you, dude, and that is, who was your most standout player in the team for you?
it was really our solo laner who went over the cap in the beginning, along with my mid laner. Uh, but basically, just to give you a brief overview, we had a our game was really centered around getting ahead in the early game in the solo lane, and then kind of getting the rest of our team ahead based on that level advantage in the solo lane. Uh, that kind of went down the drain when we had to change the player.
Yeah,
But yeah, but
carry
now
on.
to touch on the mid laner as well, him or the solo laner were agreed on to be like the best players on our team, and that would be just to say the names, Roy and Red.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, Red was your mid laner, wasn't
Hmm.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
he's still there.
Yeah, yeah, I've had a few rough games against Red. I can definitely
He
say that.
he's got a mean Morrigan, I can say that much.
Oh, yeah, hasn't he just? So I'll move on to the next question for you, dude. Then the next question is, so how did the training preparations go in the first week? And then how was the training different between the games after they started?
Okay, I guess it. So I'm just going to touch on the first week briefly. It was like you could see the first week was when everyone was in high spirits. They were all eager to get to it. We actually had a quite a few good games in casuals as a five-man team. I then reviewed the games, talked to each of the players individually. Then we went over some things as a team, as in decision making. We talked over in-game calls and having a sort of team captain who would have the final say in those calls.
Yeah,
We got all of that down in the first week. Then, sadly, the weeks. Okay, so just the first week was great. It was probably the best week we had. But afterwards, it went sour because we did have to change out. We had to change out our solo laner. Our support also got a temporary suspension for a week, so he was also unavailable to play. So it was a bit iffy. I still talked to my players individually, but we couldn't really get much team practice going on, and it's
yeah.
kind of come to a standstill in the before before now basically because we also have to find a new jungler now.
Okay, so so it's kind of gone on a downhill slope, I guess. Is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, as did
Okay,
the games.
yeah. Right. Okay. So we got copped with the strongest team then, yeah.
Yeah, basically, it was definitely the strongest iteration of the team. I can say
Uh,
that much.
okay. Anyway, moving
So
on.
far.
Yeah, yeah. We'll move on to the next question. Um, so this is kind of you've kind of already stemmed on this, but the question is, did the games go the way you wanted in the ways of like your comps in matches, the results, and just how your players performed in general?
Okay, so first up, I'm just going to touch up on results. The results didn't go as expected or as we wanted them to go. With those two games, we lost at the end.
So you're
But the
saying,
rest, like, mhm.
oh sorry, I was saying, so you're saying you had decent early game and then started losing it in later.
That also.
Okay, okay.
But by what I said, I meant we did well at the start of the league and then it went down. But
Okay.
you actually you hit the nail on the head by saying we had a bad early game. Scratch that. We had a good early game and a bad early game in our games we played as well. That
Okay.
was a rather a problem. So the results weren't too hot. But as far as team compositions go and how my players played, I was really impressed because we actually had a small session on this. We talked about the new meta after the mid-season patch hit. It was like a big change, a big shake-up. So uh, afterwards, after the patch came out, we sat down and we basically talked about team compositions and builds. So I feel like that really went well for us in the league matches. We were really focused on going double hunter when we could, just because fail not is such a strong item,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
really we did well with the double hunter composition in most matches. We even had a plan for leaving some stronger picks open in the ban phase, and because we knew we could play against them or pick a an equally strong pick. So compositions went really well, and my players they really okay. I'm not going to say they played like pros, but what I really liked is that they really improved because you could see the stuff we talked about with them. They really improve on that, and I think that's what matters.
yeah. That's a good thing to kind of, like you're saying, when the mid-season patch, I actually think it came at the best time for the actual whole entire season because it got to change things up. And like you're saying about a double hunter, my team itself, we spoke about double hunter as well. Um, but yeah, like it's a complicated one because you almost have to create your own meta in this instead of trying to play for the top level. It is what we've kind of spoke about. And then
Yeah, well, it yeah. Sorry, I interrupted.
no, no, carry on, dude, carry on. Happy to touch on things.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say that it really helped that I said before that my mid laner Red was one of the standout players. It really helped that he was really open to those new hunter picks in the mid lane, even though he was more he likes his Morrigan, he likes his Ra, but he was really open to picking like Skadi or Chiron just because we thought it could work, and it didn't really pan out the way we wanted, but it did
Yeah, yeah,
show promise.
yeah. I get what you're saying. So
So Red
move.
really has.
Yeah. Um, so Red's kind of been a real nice standout for you then.
Mhm.
Yeah. So moving on to the last question, which kind of ties in quite nicely, I'm guessing, with what you just said. Um, so who do you think was the most improved in the team, and what was your reasoning?
Um, so even though I spoke so highly about my solo and my mid, uh, my the player I think improved most is my ADC Jace.
Yeah.
When this league started, he actually came to me in a PM and he told me he's new to the ADC role. He actually switched from mid lane, and he was really eager to learn the role. Out of all the five players on my team, he was actually the one that really wanted to get better, and he really wants to place well in this league. He wants to win it, and it showed because everything I told him he really took to heart. uh, and he's really, yeah, he
Yeah, yeah.
really improved.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because originally I started in the solo lane, and then me and Callum took a decision together for us to swap. So basically, I had to learn a whole new mid lane role, and I know how hard that can kind of be. And it's when you show that determination, like when we played in you with against you, your ADC did cause us troubles. So it's nice to see that he did improve, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in a few days if he's playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Uh,
he is too.
Yeah, yeah. So last thing I'm gonna say is that's the end of my questions. Is there anything you would like to just openly say about the whole thing about SLL?
Oof, you're kind of putting me on the spot here.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I don't think I have anything to say about the SLL overall. I just want to really shout out my team though
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
for really. Uh, I was really impressed by the fact that they actually took what I told them to heart, and they really thought like I had something to bring, and they listened to what I had to say.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Anyway, thank you very much, dude, for your time. Um, I'm gonna let you go and go do your own thing. So thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.